One of my biggest lessons is to be kind. Don't sit in the corner and, think like, oh my gosh, this is so scary. This is like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Don't think about it too hard. Get out there and talk to people, make new friends, because you don't know who you're gonna run into. You don't know what's gonna happen. So I really think putting yourself out there and being the best person you could be. Be yourself. Don't mirror anybody.
Welcome to Fierce Frequency, the podcast where your voice, your power, and your story take center stage. I'm your host, Angela Cherry. In each episode, we dive into bold conversations, fresh perspectives, and the energy that fuels change. Tune in, turn up, and let's get fierce together. Welcome to Fierce Frequency. This week we have a very special guest. We're joined by a rising star in the world of fashion and modeling, Giavanna Victoria. Hi, Giavanna.
Hello.
A little bit more about Giavanna is she was born and raised in New Jersey. Giavanna has built an inspiring career that bridges both New York City and Miami, modeling for a variety of brands while staying deeply connected to her creative vision. Her passion for elegance and empowerment led her to launch her very own fashion line, Demure, a brand that celebrates timeless sophistication, confidence, and grace. From debuting Demure on the runway at New York Fashion Week to preparing pop-up shops across Massachusetts and New Jersey, Giavanna embodies what it means to blend artistry and entrepreneurship. Beyond fashion, she's a voice for body positivity, self-kindness, and authentic confidence, messages that resonate deeply with young women finding their place in the world. Today, we'll dive into her journey as a model and a designer, her reflections on beauty and identity, and how she's using her platform to uplift and empower others through her brand and her story. And I also want to let our listeners know that Giavanna's only 16 and already doing some really incredible things. I had the pleasure of meeting Giavanna and I think the first time New York and then Miami, walking the runways. And then I had the incredible pleasure of modeling in her launch of Demure at New York Fashion Week. So just so blessed to have met. So let's get started. Giavanna, you've had such a dynamic journey between modeling and fashion design. Take us back to where and how your love of fashion and design began.
My love for fashion came actually at a very young age. It came from my mom. My mom, she has any designer bag you could think of. My mom is so into fashion that I think I just like naturally fell in love with it because I remember at a young age, it's like, oh no, I don't like those earrings. I don't like that. I don't like that bag. And then as I got older, my mom would just look so bougie. And I'm just like, my mom's so beautiful. So I just really want to be just like my mom. And so that's just how I fell in love with fashion, was just from my mom.
I love that. And your mother is very beautiful and you look just like her.
Thank you.
What was the moment when you realized modeling was something that you're interested in and it could possibly become a career for you?
I realized that when I was really looking at myself in photos and I realized how good I was just posing and being able to not be so afraid of the camera and being able because I'm also a dancer too. So I am just so used to just doing those silly poses in the end and, of every, stage I went on, that it just became natural to me. It became like second nature. So being able to be confident in front of the camera was like a big thing that I was good at. So I was like, well, maybe modeling would be a great career. I'm excited to do this because I also wanted to get into the business world and the field of business. So I felt that if I were to start into modeling, it would make it a little bit easier for me to start my own business.
Oh, that's wonderful. So when did you start modeling?
I started modeling at the beginning of January of this year.
Ah, incredible. And look how much you've already achieved and how far you've come. I cannot wait to see what else you achieved through life. So, what has been your favorite part about all of it since you started in January?
I loved meeting a lot of the people. A lot of the people at first, like before I started modeling, I was really scared that a lot of the people would be very, mean and competitive and nasty. But when I got into it with Models Unlimited, I found out that there's so many people like you that are just so kind and sweet and outgoing for others that it made me fall more in love with modeling and fashion. And it made me want to pursue my modeling career even more.
I love that. Life is, I've learned over the years, surrounding yourself with just good, kind people can change the trajectory of your life, right?
Yeah.
And also being a good, kind person as well. So I'm so glad that you were able to find a safe place with Supermodels Unlimited in modeling, because you definitely bring a lot to the table with your talent that you have. So let me ask you this: how did you come up with Demure?
It honestly took a little bit because I really wanted to find a ward that fit me best. Because I really wanted, to have me as the face of Demure, and I really wanted something that really said me. And me, I'm very quiet, I'm very resolved, and I found the word Demure, and it means resolved, elegant, graceful, confident, and it's like quiet confidence. It doesn't need to like shout to be seen. And I really liked that because I have so many people that never knew I modeled because I don't really tell people that, I'm not really flashy. I don't like shout like, "Oh my gosh, look at my accomplishments." I'm very quiet about it, so like they see it through like my mom's Facebook or my Instagram or my socials, or they'll see a billboard and they're like, "Oh my goodness, you model?" I'm like, "Yeah, I model." And I also like how it's resolved and confident, and I like how like my dresses just stand out. And I love like the models that I used because they just stand out and they just scream confidence even without the dress on, and I love that.
Oh, that's beautiful. So the words that were connected with Demure, did that also influence the styles that you brought together to debut for the runway?
Yes.
Okay. So describe Demure style, if you will.
I think a demure style is I think it's like very neutral colors. Like it's not like a flashy like neon pink. It's a nice, you know, black, it's a nice gray or white or champagne color, and I'm looking forward to like putting more dresses to my line. But I do really like those colors starting out with Demure, and I also have a blush pink color, so like a lot of pastels, a lot of very neutral colors. Because I said before, like how I like it's very quiet confidence doesn't need to be shout to be seen. Is that I like I don't want my dresses to have to like be like this to be
Yeah.
seen.
How was it? How did it feel debuting it at New York Fashion Week in September?
It was so exciting. Like, I think, like, every time I think about it, I have the biggest smile on my face because it was just such a, like, an moment. Like, wow, like, I did this. This is really, like, this is crazy. Like, I'm only 16 years old and I have my own fashion line. I have my favorite models doing it. I never, ever thought in a million years that this would happen. And it still makes me, like, oh my goodness, every time I think about it.
Well, you certainly deserve all of it. Are you going to be doing another line at New York Fashion Week in February?
Well, looking forward to February, we're still kind of figuring out the logistics of it, but I am doing September, and I am doing Paris Fashion Week in September as well.
Oh, excellent. I'll be there as well in Paris. I
Yay!
can't wait. I'll be checking that a couple things off the bucket list with that trip. One being I had like on the international travel that I want to do, Paris was on there. So going to Paris, number one. And then also I had written down on a vision board that I wanted to walk in runway show in Paris. And then here we are. So that worked out nicely. That's so exciting. Have there been any, lessons you've learned or things that have come about from building your fashion line, from getting out there and walking in the runway shows? Like, is there anything that's happened since you started in January that you're like, wow, that was a great lesson in life, whatever that looks like?
One of my biggest lessons is to be kind. Don't sit in the corner and, think like, oh my gosh, this is so scary. This is like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Don't think about it too hard. Get out there and talk to people, make new friends, because you don't know who you're gonna run into. You don't know what's gonna happen. So I really think putting yourself out there and being the best person you could be. Be yourself. Don't mirror anybody because like I just think that's like so sad that girls, especially young girls like my age, feel like they have to mirror somebody to get
Yeah.
attention. Be yourself. Go out there and put the biggest smile you have on or the biggest model face you have, whatever you want to do. Wear the dress you want to wear. Pose the way you want to, even if people think it's ridiculous. Just be you. Like if I could like take my hand and just put it in like big bold letters, I would just like slap it on the camera because like honestly, young girls need to know that because in this world today, people are just so mean now, especially between cyberbullying and stuff like that. That's a big thing now. So I really think a lot of girls should know that when it comes to modeling.
I love that. I love that message and that lesson that you've learned. And I love that you're sharing it because you're right. Girls do need to know. I mean, me personally, I talked about in other episodes being a pathological people pleaser, and I was for most of my life. And a lot of that, what it entailed was me trying to fit in or trying to be somebody that I wasn't to hopefully fit in. And what I've learned over the years is that I wasn't meant to fit in. I was meant to be me. And being me means exactly the things that you were just sharing. It means understanding that beauty comes in all different forms and in all different ways. And it's important to be beautiful on the inside just as much as it is the outside, right? It's actually more important. And then just being okay with who you are. I think that a lot of times in society, we're, as women and young girls, we're given a message that we need to be this way or that way to fit in or whatever that looks like, when the reality is that if we can just get really comfortable with who we are at our core and just be a good person, that's when the magic happens. Because trying to be like somebody else is not going to get you where you want to go. And I know for me personally, I always say it's me against me, meaning I'm a competitive person, but I'm competitive with myself, not other people. I don't look at other people, other women, girls. I don't look at anybody as competition. I look at them as another human being, an individual. And I think it's important that we also like tell people, wow, you're so kind. Thank you. You're so beautiful. And instead of being competitive with other people, work on ourselves and be good to other people, right?
Yeah, of
Because we
course.
all bring something beautiful to the table. So I love that lesson that you shared. Next question. Do you have any affirmations or anything like that that you say to yourself or write down, have hung somewhere? Like, do you do anything like that to keep you positively reinforced?
I do. I am, it's a little hard to admit, but I am a very anxious person, and I think a lot of women are at my age. And so, like, I look at myself in the mirror and, I'm just like, I'm beautiful, I'm smart, I'm capable, you know, I'm beautiful, I'm different, I'm unique, all these like wonderful things because I think that when you do that, it brings your confidence to like another level. And I think a lot of girls need that.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So, what do you enjoy doing besides modeling and designing fashions? What do you enjoy doing?
My favorite thing to do is to bake. I love to bake. And I am the oldest of five siblings. So I have all these little, tiny little guys running around. My favorite thing too with baking is, having my little taste testers come up and they taste everything and, being able to be a big sister. I also volunteer a lot in my community. I volunteer at HOTS, which is up in North Jersey. And It's like a horseback riding organization that allows kids with disabilities to be able to ride a horse, and I interned there, and I stopped doing it when I started modeling because it started interfering with the traveling, but I'll still stop by every now and then because I just love seeing the children. I did the VFW breakfast, which is for veterans, and I like to serve in my community with all the veterans because we have a lot down here in New Jersey that served in Vietnam, that served in recent wars that happened, a lot of them who are still in the military. It's really nice. I also babysat for a long time. I love babysitting, and I still do from time to time. I still have like my little guys that still love me, and I'll always go and see them. But I think having a life outside of modeling is a very big thing because I don't think like everybody should make modeling the whole personality. I think they should have like that's modeling is considered to me as a job, not like a hobby. It's a job for me. And then everything else is my hobby because I truly feel like if you have that, then it'll bring up modeling with it.
Yes, absolutely. So, what do you have any exciting things planned for the future? I mean, I know we talked about Paris and all of that, but any other plans that you feel comfortable sharing with us?
I forgot to mention this one because like I was gonna be able to show my line, but actually this November I'm showcasing my line Demure again at Friendsgiving in Massachusetts, and it's really sweet because my birthday is also around November. I'm a November baby. I'm a Scorpio baby, so I am getting a little birthday party over there too, and I have my models all lined up. And I'm so excited to show my line for the second time. It's a little bit like, oh my goodness, but it's it's just amazing. I'm so proud that like I was able to do this.
You should be proud, and I hope I get to see pictures and videos, and I can't wait to see who all you have walking in your show. I know it's going to be fantastic.
Thank you so
Because you have such a great eye for that. I'm just going to ask you some random questions and we'll have fun with it. Between New York City and Miami, which would you choose? You got to choose one.
I'm a New York baby through and through. I'm Italian American. I used to go with my dad and we'd go get the cannolis. We'd be in Little Italy. And our favorite restaurant is Paisans. And every time I go up the first show, we have to always have an excuse to go back to Little Italy. So
I love it. I'll have to jot that restaurant name down and check it out next time I'm up there.
it's so good.
But I love the city too. I get it. I'm not from there, but I just love visiting and the energy. And I've met so many amazing people that actually live in the city.
Yeah.
It's a great place. What's your favorite self-care ritual?
My favorite self-care ritual. I have a lot. I gotta think of Um, my favorite is coming home after a long day, taking a nice hot shower, and just taking care of my skin, just plopping on a face mask and just relaxing in bed, maybe reading a book, getting some schoolwork done, or maybe even baking. I love to bake. It calms me down. So between those two things, those are my favorite.
So, what do you enjoy baking?
I enjoy baking cookies and cakes. My mom, she's actually gluten-free, so she can't have a lot of stuff, and I feel bad. So I've gotten really good at baking gluten-free banana breads, gluten-free cupcakes, gluten-free cookies, because as much as, I love to bake, I want everyone to be able to have something tasty. Like my
Yeah.
mom, I'm planning on baking her a birthday cake this year because she loves my baking. So I'm like, what? Because it's really hard to find like a gluten free bakery, especially where I live. So I'm gonna bake her a nice cake. I mean, I'm not the best person when it comes to icing, but at least it'll be tasty.
For me, it's one of those things where I'm like, it's not about the looks. Don't look at the icing. Just it's fine. I'm not very good at icing myself. What message would you give to your younger self? You're still young, but
The younger self.
yeah.
Probably to be myself. It's because when I was younger, I was bullied a lot because I naturally have curly hair. A lot of people do not know that too. I blow it out. I have these thick curly hair, and I used to get made fun of for it because I didn't have straight hair like everybody else. So I think one thing that would be really important is to be myself and to love my hair for the way it is and to not change myself for anybody.
Yes, I love that. Are there any other messages or things that you want to share with our listeners, girls, in regards to confidence or any of that? Do you have anything else that you would like to share?
I do. I know that especially now as teenagers, and I still go through it, like I talk like this, like I don't go through it myself, and I do, that you are uniquely you. No, you don't need to change for anybody. No silly boy, no silly team, no silly modeling career, no silly agency, nothing. You need to be yourself. And if they don't like that, then that's too bad. They are missing out. Go be yourself and go on your own road. Don't, you know, follow somebody by like holding onto their shoulders, like in that train that we do at like prom or homecoming. Let go. Go on your own. Go on your own journey. And it's not easy in the beginning, but it will be because you'll fall in love with your journey. You'll fall in love with how you ended up in that journey, and most importantly, fall in love with yourself. So that's really important.
Yes. How did you get so wise?
My mom.
I believe that. You got she's fantastic. Well, how about you tell everybody if they want to connect with you to watch your journey, how they can find you?
You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Threads. My username is Giavanna Victoria on all of them. I'm pretty simple. But yeah, that's how they can find me.
Amazing. Well, I cannot wait to continue to watch your journey and the growth that you'll continue having. I know you will. And I feel like an extra mom over here. So yeah, I'm excited for you. Thank you so much for taking time to come on and share today. I think that the message that you've given is super important for young girls to hear, and also to see that you might only be 16, but that doesn't mean you can't start your entrepreneurship career, right? You can
Yeah,
do
of
anything
course.
you want to. So many people limit their self, but the only limits we have are what we put on ourselves, right?
Yeah.
If we want to go out and achieve something, we can do that. Thanks everyone for tuning in. And remember that, you don't need permission to evolve, just a fierce decision to begin. And with that, we'll see you next time. Thank you for listening to Fierce Frequency with me, Angela Cherry. If today's episode inspired you, don't forget to follow the show and share it with someone who needs that spark. Until next time, stay bold, stay powerful, and stay fierce. And remember, you don't need permission to evolve, just a fierce decision to begin.